I will say that this is not me saying that the food version is bad. Like, I actually do feel like the food version, that was like the best food deck I've ever played. But it is possible that you just want to play the good cards instead. Just play Thoughtseize, play Prismatic Ending, play Ragavan, play Sentinel. I will also say I've been talking about this JH Killer, I think for the 5 months. I don't really like discard spells and Sentinel together that much. I think it's not that big attention in general, and especially not in this deck. But you know, discard spells lower your opponent's options. You're also spending mana to not impact the board. So like they need to like desperately answer your Sentinel less, and you're giving your opponent less options, so it's easier for them to just slow down and pay 1. But again, I don't think it's that big, not that big of a deal. Just in general, I think you're not going to see me play too many Thoughtseize Sentinel decks. And then I do need to change the Stream Decker list because I had Charmals in the sideboard, but I just didn't realize how popular Titan had become. We played against Titan so much today. So, you know, hedge against Titan with the Ashiok's. And Ashiok's also cool in this deck because you can mill yourself and maybe hit a Parhelion or a Skysovereign. His U2 exiling our cards as in graveyard. Yeah, I guess it does. I don't know. I just kind of want to try the card out and see how good it is really why it's there. It's probably not going to be good enough, but I'm just kind of playtesting it. Well, if you don't have Ragavan, it's just like DRC is not very good in this list, right? Like, you're not playing Bobble, you're not playing enough cheap spells for DRC. DRC is not very good here, and so it's like, I know that you like, if you want to play the Spyro version, I just play the food version instead. Like, maybe put Seasoned Pyromancer in that deck, but the food version's really going to treat you a lot better. Okay, no landers into one land into red source only. Just go to 5. Okay, not a bad 5. Trying to think if I should keep Swamp or Blood Crypt. So I'll probably keep just the Swamp. Stony Silence like you're playing a Remade, not consideration. I'm not going to play Stony Silence in my vehicle combo deck, no. I can't crew the Parhelion with Stony Silence in play. Alright. Another ending would be pretty nice. I think I'm going to play the Copter here. Or next turn, they're probably going to spend their turn cracking map, and so I likely won't need the Thoughtseize until next turn. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, food version's on Stream Decker. Yeah, Ragavan would have been, you know, very good against Tron, of course, in this spot. Of course, like, I had 4 copies of Obsidian Charmal on my sideboard, knowing that Tron is a really hard matchup for this deck. Of course, right? And then we play against Titan 4 times this morning. I'm like, well, I need Ashiok's instead. And what do we play against round 1? Tron. Of course. Yeah, you can't beat them all though. This is modern. Like, you know, you can hedge for some things, you can't hedge for everything. This is what the format is. I guess I discard the Spyro so I can just play all my cards here. Should be fine off of a mountain here. So draw a Chromatic Sphere for turn. Obviously pays. And his their Blast Zone's pretty good here too. Maybe I shouldn't have played this into the Blast Zone. Yeah, that's probably a mistake. The version where I said one Unearth. I mean, Unearth is a card to consider. Like, this is just the thing with the food deck is, I feel like the list is pretty tight. I think it's hard to include Unearth into the 75. You obviously, yeah, you know, nobody's going to stop you from registering it, but I don't know how you make the room. My opponent has Dismember, so I'm pretty sure I dash. Could hit like a Star Sphere too to get a card. And next turn I can go like Ragavan, Crew, Copter, make them dismember the Copter, or incentivize them to. Okay, I'll bite. So there's Dismember, 3 mystery cards. Probably not going to win this game. One of their mystery cards is a power plant. I'm conceding to a lot of things here. Is this one of them? I guess not. Not with that draw. So Ragavan, crew the Copter. Hopefully they kill Copter, which they probably will because it is flying over the Worm Coil, right? No consideration for holding land there for Copter. I mean, they're probably dismembering the Copter anyways, right? Yeah. As you said in your comment. Hit send anyways. Respect. Yeah, I mean, if I draw Goblin Engineer next turn and my opponent has nothing, which is a lot of copium for sure. But puts me not 0%. I get the Copter back next turn anyways. Yeah, they see what they got. So they can relic away my Copter, but this still means I can draw Engineer off the top. They grab a Sanctum of Ugin instead of Yavimaya, which probably means they've got a big card in their hand, right? But why wouldn't they have cast it? I think a lot of people are just in the habit of getting Sanctum. Obviously, that's not necessarily what my opponent's doing, but like here they can't cast any green cards. Now that I tapped like Thoughtseize too. Okay. Timely Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize was no, sorry, Engineer still killed them. Engineer was still a better top deck, but they can't cast any green spells. They have no cards in their hands. Alright, we'll concede with grace and dignity. Conceding with grace and dignity. So I got my Charmals from the sideboard right before this league. It is what it is. I'm going to cut my Unearths for Wear Tears probably because I need to be able to kill their relics. I don't think Ashok's very good. It can be good on the play on turn 2 if you played off Ragavan, but really only there. Void Mirror is not very good against Tron. It can sometimes randomly win a game, but it's I don't think it's very good against Green Tron. Maybe like one as like an engineer target is okay. I'll try it. Okay, we've got Ragavan into Spyro, probably on turn 2 discard Parhelion. Into hopefully draw Greasefang. No Blood Fountain. Not in this version. This version, the idea here is you want to be like play like the good Mardu cards. Ragavan, Sentinel, Ending, Thoughtseize, Spyro. And I think you also have the combo. You also have Unearth. So the idea is that this is not the food variant, which you would play Blood Fountain in, but Voldyre and Epicur is better there anyways. Jay Free, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. This is the first match with this version of Greasefang Muffin. Boo! Boo! Well. Boo. Gazer, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. If you play Absent, you get Goy from Chariot. Well, just like every chat suggestion for every brew I ever play, that raises the mana curve and lowers your card quality and makes your enabler is worse. It is like absurd. Like the ratio of chat suggestions for changing brews. Like the absurd, like the amount of like suggestions that are raise your mana curve, raise your mana curve, play for this 4 mana spell that is super replaceable. The amount of suggestions are just like raise the curve spike, get it really high up there. It's absurd. Let's add this 4 mana spell that is about as good as every other 4 mana spell. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Chariot has synergy with Greasefang, but it's also like, how are you getting the Greasefang and how are you getting the Chariot into the graveyard in Abzan? Just Copter? Liliana of the Veil? It just doesn't seem very good to me. Yeah, let's Seasoned Pyromancer here. Put a Mr. Land drop there. Oh, sorry. I thought it's turn 4. I thought I missed my land drop last turn. I probably should have looted this away. Yeah, I mean, I think Toolcraft Exemplar, Scrap Heap Scrounger, like Veteran Motorist, these cards are just not like playable in Modern. Like these cards are really low power level, but you did suggest a 1-mana card, which is great. I do love that. Okay, we're tears definitely worse than the draw. Let's play some YOLO Void Mirrors. How up am I with this build? Now this is the first match I'm playing, and we're playing against Tron, so which is a bad matchup. I don't feel like we've got a lot of information yet. Do we keep this hand? I kind of like keeping it. YOLO Void Mirror. Let's do it. It's probably not going to be good enough, but you know, if my opponent has kept hands with no green sources both games, a single forest, a single forest. This hand crumbles to dust. I think Absent version would be a better fit for Food Shell, Copying Chariot, Constructs, Poppy Ravenous Squirrels, 1-mana beater. Yeah, that's fair. You play Blood Fountain over Voldaren, Epicur. You do lose Goblin Engineer though. You could probably like, you know, I like the cards the green cards you're playing are like Chariot and Squirrel. Squirrel can be played as a black card, and like you can splat if you feel like Chariot's like really that good. You could play like one fetchable green source. Alright, deck tech for pizza. Can you post a link in chat? I'll take a look. Okay, opponent with a tough mold of 5. Just keep Natural Tron. Please, for the first time in my life, just keep Natural Tron. No! Maybe they'll sack this. Where's his mine? Aggro Loam is the name of this deck. Yeah, I'll take this Nature's Claim. Yeah, I think there's like actually like a decent chance they sack this Canopy the next turn or two. Will they just have Tron and kill me anyways, maybe? I'm gonna play this Copter, hope to draw a creature. Aggro Loam, okay. We've worked on this list a few times in the past. I think this is pretty close to the way I've recommended to build it, but I remember recommending 4 Slowgurks, 4 Heat, 0 Bolt, 4 Seismic Assaults, and then 4 Iteration. So that is one more cut to make room for all of those. Oblivion Stone. These Sentinel's a good draw. I'll keep thinking. I think that I would probably still only want 1 Boseiju. Like Boseju's, you know, awkward to play as a land in your deck with 4 copies of Seismic Assault. Can maybe play more in the sideboard, but it's definitely a bit awkward. Okay, so then has Karn Liberated Mystery card. Let's go and play this Ragavan. I like the Maguses over Blood Moon because of Boseiju. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think I like 1 Boseiju main, 1 Boseiju side. You probably need like at least the first filter, red-green filter land, so you can filter into your Seismic Assaults. Not sure exactly what you cut for that. They did find Tron. Fuck. Just ripping it off the top. Sack the Canopy. Sack the Canopy. Yes, please. Please, Clothis. Please. They've got Karn, 2 mystery cards. Come on, Void Mirror. I've never wanted anything more than my opponent not to have a land. Yeah, Firelip, thank you. Oh, fuck. Despair. I think I'm probably not second to Canyon. Just gonna cast the Spyro here. Not as bad for us as like a forest, I guess. Okay, I guess I'm still like second to Canyon. Could be a hard game to win. So they can sack the Blast Zone. They do need exactly Urza's Tower in order to cast Karn this turn, but obviously they could have something else because they haven't been playing lands. Yeah, I really like Slogurk in this deck. I would play 4. You maybe don't need to play the 4th
It's me,
Seismic
your friend,
Assault.
Inspiring Spike.
But I would like... I think you'd also play maybe only 1 Loam because you have 4 Ren. 2 Loam is probably fine too. I think I'd like to see the 3rd Force of Vigor in the sideboard somewhere. Maybe over like... No, I like one main Passagia one side. Maybe over the 2nd Explosives. Okay, that's a interesting draw. Wait, so what did they do? They Expedition Map for Sanctum of Ugin. Greasefang? No. We do get to hit them for 5 down to 10, then play a Copter. Or is it better to Chromatic Sphere? I could hit Thoughtseize, or I could hit dig 1 deeper to Greasefang. If I play Copter here, they go Karn, minus on Copter. I still have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, which is not lethal. I think I'm gonna cycle the Sphere. Hitting Thoughtseize is like also a dream. Yeah, unfortunately I can't see what I'm drawing, so I couldn't choose the white mana there. But you know, this also gives me 1 deeper to a potential Greasefang, which is probably a win next turn. Sam with 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. Is that for deck tech as well? Yeah, I knew there were 2 main deck Passagias, but I'm recommending moving the 2nd, or just playing 1 main 1 side instead of 2 main 1 side. And like cutting a 2nd Passagia for the red-green filter land. They've got Karn, 2 mystery cards. Do you reckon Goblins is a serious deck to take to big tournament? I think Goblins is a great deck, yeah. I've been singing the praises of Goblins. All is dust. Fuck. Well, they got Wormcoil Engine, interesting. Greasefang off the top is a win. Wrong half of the combo, I guess. This could let me get back Void Mirror. I think I almost definitely have to sack this, right? Dash Monkey? Well, I was just trying to think if I want to sack the canyon first. I did see the line of dashing the monkey, though. Yeah, so I'll get a Skysovereign in the yard in case like we draw Greasefang and they play Karn, the Great Creator. I've already got a Void Mirror and a Parhelion in the yard. Goblins run Aethervial. I've been obsessed Aethervial in the world of DRC Rag Sentinel. I mean, I have a lot of trophies with Goblins. I've got a lot. Yeah, I have several trophies with Goblins, so I have like the deck. I don't know if it's not really any deeper than that, I think. Okay, so I can engineer back the Void Mirror. They grab a Sundering Titan. Greasefang would be such a sick draw. I think I want to Greasefang away the Sentinel. I guess I'll probably Seasoned Pyromancer token this turn too. Yeah, but I'm playing, you know, 3 Mog Fanatic in the main deck to hedge against Ragavan II in the Goblin deck. Not the Copter. I don't know. It's like I think maybe getting second to Copter is better because of the Karn. But I think there's like a non-zero chance I can get the Karn off the table too. By getting back my tokens and dashing the Ragavan, in which case I'd rather have the Copter in play. Had the red green deck feel. It felt okay. Both of our losses in that last league were to turn 3 Titan after Titan getting Charmauled. Could have done it after blocks. Oh, the Greasefang. Yeah. I should have done that. Yeah, I should have blocked. So now I would have an extra token here. No, Greasefang's not a win next turn because Karn stops me from being able to crew it. Can they get something that they can play through the Void Mirror? That's the big question. You keep calling it Greasefang? I mean Greasefang. Sorry. Oh, we're top decking Greasefang was something I wanted to do. Maybe I said Greasefang. I didn't mean it earlier. Okay, I wasn't really expecting them to just like forget about Void Mirror. I was not I was not expecting that to happen. Guess I'm gonna dash the Ragavan. Do I want to leave up an Engineer activation? Yeah, I think I do, so I can block with Copter. Oh no, if I was gonna block with Copter, I should just cast the Ragavan. Oh no, I can Seasoned Pyromancer, block with Copter, then switch Copters. Okay, yeah, that works. Man, winning this game would be awesome. Yeah, Skysovereign hits Karn, but Engineer can't return Skysovereign. It can only return artifacts with mana value 3 or less, which is... It's kind of shocking how many people don't realize that. Like, because if Engineer could return any artifact, it would be banned. It would be too good. It would just, like, straight up be too good. You'd be playing it in better decks than Parhelion combo, probably. I keep calling Goblin Engineer Greasefang. Okay, yes, sorry. I apologize. I misspeak a lot on the channel. I don't know why anybody watches, to be honest. Yeah. That wasn't sorry. I wasn't like just being sarcastic. Me misspeaking on stream all the time. It happens all the time. That wasn't me just being a sarcastic asshole like usual. I misspeak constantly, and I'm a bit embarrassed by it, I guess, is what I'm getting at. It is something that I do pretty regularly here. I wish it wasn't the case. I guess people watch because I'm lucky enough to top deck Greasefang, though. Yeah, that wasn't me being, just a snarky asshole like usual, though. That was a genuine reflection upon the stream. Yeah. Yeah, people watch because I'm just lucky, I think. Whew. Well. Come on, Parhelion. Alright, 1-0, winning an impossible match against Tron, I guess. Leave the Copter back to block, but whatever. It's over. I think it's a Lurrus deck. It's gonna be pretty good if we had, like a white source in addition to the Blood Crypt over like the Unearth. I think we could do better on 6 cards. Okay, I'll consider this better, I think. Maybe put back Engineer with this hand against a Lurrus deck. That is true. They could have played harder around Mirror, which they didn't do. Alright, let's play Ragavan, I think, instead of ending on the Spell Bomb. I was kind of hoping that would be Assassin's Trophy. 1 Damping Sphere? Yeah, I think a Damping Sphere is probably a better sideboard option than the Boil. I like that suggestion. Do I feel lucky enough to Copter into a land for ending? Probably not. Well, they've got Lurrus. They're not quite Boomer John. Alright, let's go for the Copter this turn. Spellbomb is really going to get me. Oh, really hope they don't have removal. Guess if they have like a 2-mana removal, I could draw a card off Sentinel at least. Man, still no land really feels bad. Consider going hard into black-white, playing Liliana over the Pyros. I mean, Pyro's better than Liliana, and like Ragavan's also like very good in the deck too. I don't know. Like you'd have to just give me an argument on why that's the way to go, I guess. You get better mana. That's supposed to be the main reason, right? Yeah, I'm probably just not gonna be able to combo this game, but we can probably try to win a fair game at least. They might pop the Spellbomb into turn here, but also nobody ever pops a Spellbomb, so there we go. Is the deck's main gimmick live up to hype, or is it very brittle? It's very powerful. It's very powerful. It is fragile to a lot of things, though. But like, it can't be your only game plan. You have to have more of a game plan in order for it to function. But it is not a terrible game plan. Yeah, could have been nice to unearth the Sentinel if this were an untapped land, but it is not. Copter has been surprisingly great this match so far. I'm going to attack the Ren. I don't think they have a removal spell. They could, though. Dang it, they do. I guess they've had heat for a while. They just didn't have Delirium. Greasefang can get this back, so it is, not terrible to have a vehicle in the graveyard here. Lurrus in the hand for my opponent. They can cast it this turn. They can't play anything off of it, though. They also don't. They decide not to cast it here, I guess. Alright, so main phase, I could find Greasefang. Another Spyro's not too bad. I'm going to attack the Ren in 6, I think. Well, it's definitely a problem that they can go Lurrus Spellbomb, so, like, I no longer really have a window to try to Greasefang them out of the game. Dang it. Feels bad. Oh, missed our window. Mana symbol with the 22 months. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, Triple Race was awesome. We missed Randy Rootwall's coverage this time around. Okay. Try to top deck Prismatic Ending. Alright, I'll pack it in. I think I'm like 2 Wear Tears. Could maybe see playing a third. 2 is probably a good number. Maybe I'll just play 2 Parhelion also. Just be more in on Engineer. Yeah, we played against Titan like 4 times today before we played this deck today, Canister. And I'm just like, well, I'll hedge against Titan, huh? And then Asher's kind of cool because you can mill yourself too. Chalice against any Lurrus decks? Well, Chalice is mostly to play on 0 against Cascade decks. I have 13 1-mana spells, so I don't really feel like I'm supposed to Chalice. I usually bring in Boil against Titan. It sometimes does nothing, but it's also like, it's often enough, like, 4 mana to win the game. Probably still better to Magus. Yeah, I think that you might be right. Although it's, the graveyard hate is not like irrelevant either. Marwin, 18 months, appreciate you. You can maybe do a split as well. Yeah, but it could be better as a Magus deck. And then also, like, you have more Tron hate too. Might try that next round. Oh, well. Guess we have to mulligan. And be pretty keepable with red mana. And keep this one. No black mana this hand. Could you main deck Lurrus in the deck? Well, yeah, you could put it in the deck. No one's stopping you, but it wouldn't be any good. especially with no baubles. Is one chalice the right amount of hate for Cascade decks? Well, I have one chalice, 2 Void Mirror. I have this split because you can play multiple copies out. Actually, nobody's so powerful to this classes. That's a great point. Although, are they like main decking like 3 Colossus, or is Colossus just a packed target? Because that might be harder for them to find it, right? Alright, Awkward Hands be so reactive against no threats. Hopefully they play a Saga next turn. You can't Chalice and 0 Mirror out. Yeah, but that only works when you top deck Chalice after having already played Mirror. So it's like usually not that relevant. Respond to the trigger here so they can't make mana. But they can just get the Saga back. We're gonna lose this game. I guess I should probably dash off the swamp in case I like hit a 1 mana spell. I guess it probably doesn't matter either way. Trying to think like what spells I would play over ending the red and 6. There's really not that many. But like I kind of feel like playing a spell is, or hitting a spell there is important since I am so low on resources. They can take Wear Tear. They take Prismatic Ending so fast though. I'll play at the Ragavan, play around discard spells. Worse against Ren and 6 though. Better use of mana too. I mean, I could draw like a bunch of or Seasoned Pyromancers in a row and potentially get out of this. Easiest block in the world. They have 3 cards in their hand though. I think Murktide can get away with 1 blue Channel Land. Yeah, easily. You should play with Channel Land and Murktide. Well, I did top deck a Spyro. That is absolutely step 1. Maybe hitting land is not step 2. We're not that far away from hardcasting Parhelion. Or maybe not that close either. I'll probably not take 6 here. This is also, jumping here is also better if I draw Unearth. Why Kozilek can hit Wear Tear. I was just, I guess I kind of brushed over it a little bit, but like Inquisition can't hit Fire Ice, which is another split card, and it can hit Wear Tear though. I think I just kind of brushed over that aspect a little bit. But adding Stoneforge package with Mask of Memories. I don't think I want to read Mask of Memories today. I just know that Mask of Memories as a discard outlet for Parhelion it's just not going to be good. Do I really have to read Mask of Memories today? They have an Ancient Grudge. I think holding the Marsh Flats to loot doesn't have a lot of value. I'll play it out in case I draw Spyro. Yeah, you're really gonna make me read Mask of Memories and tell you it's bad. That's what we're doing today. I think I'll make them use the Grudge. Yeah, Mask of Memory. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to player, draw 2, discard a card. Yeah, that card's not that good. But you would also play maybe like the little red guy, the crab helmet guy from Neon instead. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hope. Dangerous, dangerous hope. I'm so close to hardcasting Parhelion. Although I actually don't have any fetchables for this Mire. No, sorry, I have a mountain. I forgot about the mountain. Yeah, I mean, I think I need to stop that from hitting with the Monke. Obviously, doesn't feel that good. Unearth is our best draw now, probably. Alright, let's make sure I don't draw the mountain off the spiral trigger. This is our best draw. we have to hit like, you know, 6 mana worth of spells here, maybe. Only 3 mana worth of spells. I think I'll play out. This actually gives me like an okay blocker for Ragavan, which is nice. Dosi, 14 months, appreciate ya. Good luck with Neo Bruce, thank you. Fighting for dear life. Wait, that was in the graveyard? I thought they already had I thought they already used that grudge. Sorry, I just totally missed it. Don't think it changes the play. Well, it just sucks here because they're gonna get the Nile Spellbomb and I can't win. Yeah. Saga closes the door here pretty hard. Call Me, thank you for the 5-pack. Appreciate that. Gotta get stuff from Call Me, make sure to thank them. Oh, it was Decay. Sorry, it totally looked like Ancient Grudge on the stack to me. I totally saw Ancient Grudge on the stack. Okay. Keep this. Marsh Flats go. The mirror, perhaps. I kind of expect the mirror. I don't know why. Marsh Flats is not that common. Okay, not the Abzan vehicles list, the mythic Abzan vehicles list, perhaps. Just boring Abzan Reanimator instead. Okay, red source would be pretty nice. So I could go Spyro, discard 2 Parhelions. Ending on the priest is okay. Glad I got these Ashiok's. I guess Ashiok's actually not that good against Reanimator. It's not bad. Got the cage as a engineer target. Oof. It's pretty good. Abzan Reanimator. Did draw a red source. Still lacking black mana, unfortunately. Not a great Spyro. Yeah, these Mystics do RM paper. They're really cool. I want some. I'm trying Crabvine with Greasefang. Weird, but interesting. Yeah, it doesn't sound that good to me. Had some mana issues this league. I'm gonna probably play Sentinel Engineer here. So maybe I'm supposed to attack with the tokens. I'm a bit more happy if they kill my Spyro though because of Unearth. Not that I have black mana yet or Unearth. Don't siege Rhino me, please. Okay, ending the engineer. Pay. So I can this one I can ending the token, kill the Grist with the dashed Ragavan. I did draw Unearth. So it could be better to ending the token and then cast the Unearth off the Ragavan treasure. I think I probably think that that's true. Like I really need to Unearth this Spyro. Grizzly Salvage, Modern's best graveyard enabler. Card was nuts in standard though. Okay, still no black mana, but I do have the Greasefang with Parhelion in the yard now. Mill's a grief, so if they ever persist, they can persist the grief, hit Greasefang. That is their line. Do you have one more Unearth in the deck, I guess? You can also Engineer. Get Copter in the yard. Ephemerate the grief, okay. Take the Engineer. So send everything at Grist. Block, Grist dies. So let's dash the Ragavan. Send everything but Ragavan at Grist. Weird game. Weird game, the man says, as he plays against Abzan Reanimator. Who could have guessed? They still have 2 cards in their hand. No upkeep Solitude, hopefully. Cool. Yeah, Grizzly Salvage was, nuts in standard. Unmarked Grave. So if they have another persist, we're in a lot of trouble. Why am I putting through a grief away? Oh, you just think they should have ephemerated the grief to take the Ragavan? Yeah. People are always like so upset when, but it's just like, they just made an obvious mistake. Or, they ask, why did something happen? But the answer is just, it was just a mistake. Okay, well, I'm going to keep this. I know I don't still have any stupid black mana. Let me check my number of black sources. I'm not like just like drastically short, am I? 6, 8, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I feel like 14 is a good number. 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 6. I got 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Oh my gosh, I've got 3 different counts there. I counted the planes. I don't think I did, because I've got this is a swamp. Swamp, Takenuma, 8 fetch lands. That's 10. 8 fetch lands is 10. Blood Crypt, 12, 13. Okay, we should probably go up at Black Source then. Black Source off the top though, please, one time. Despite there only being 13. What? Is this lethal though? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not lethal. But I think it's lethal next turn. No Urborg? Why would you play Urborg in a deck that does no double black spells? Why would you put Urborg in this deck? You have no double black. Or maybe Ashiok. Oh, the Ashiok's pretty ambitious with only 13 black sources too. Whoa, they're leaving. They let me draw 2, so they must have Ephemerate. But this means I get to unearth my my Greasefang now. Oh, I guess they can Ephemerate before. They can Ephemerate. Okay, they just concede. Okay, yeah, we'll add the Black Source next league. Gonna bring in the Cage, the Ashiok. Probably cutting Advantage, or the we could play the black-white Pain Land, or we could cut Advantage. You could maybe cut 2. I feel like Vantages are pretty nice. Our Ending's gonna get some. Ending's really only gonna get some Priest of Fell Rights. Let me cut those. Should be Skysovereign. Pain Land over Filter Land. Again, like we have double red and Spyro, but like this you want Filter Lands and decks that have like a lot of double lands, or like, you have like, you want to play like Lightning Bolt on 1 and filter that into Counterspell on turn 2. Like Filter Lands, are a bit more obscure in the situations that you want them as mana fixing. I'd probably keep this and put back either Spyro or Sentinel. I think I'll put back Sentinel so I can go Thoughtseize, Copter, Spyro. Or maybe it's better to go Maybe it's better to go to put back the Spyro, just go Thoughtseize into Copter, into Sentinel, use this as a looter. I think I'd rather keep the Spyro, but it's close. Interesting draw. Am I wrong thinking Takenuma given Red Black Rock? No, I think you play. I think you do play one of each channel land in the Red Black Rock deck. I think that's gonna be correct. It's also just not that exciting either to do that. If you have a lot of mixed mana symbols like Greasefang, I feel like filters are better. No. Dual lands are better than filter lands, because it's like... So, we're talking about Greasefang specifically. They must have drawn Ephemerate, right? Talking about Greasefang specifically, in order to get black-white, you need a black or white land. So, if you are going to... if this idea of... That's an interesting draw. I probably want to play a 2-drop this turn, though. Yeah, play Copter this turn. We can go Engineer, Marsh Flats, Unearth. So if you, in order to get black-white off a filter land for Greasefang, you need a black or white source already. If you have a dual land instead of a filter land, you can always cast Greasefang anyways. And just make your mana base better, overall better. Does that make sense? Oh boy. Okay, well, definitely not unearthing Spyro now that I drew Greasefang. Bitch, you're running the blue channel at a Murktide. What would you cut? If you cut an island, you can't really support Blood Moons. Yeah, you don't want... Yeah, sorry, this is something else. You don't want Blood Moons in the sideboard of Murktide anymore, probably, with the amount of Besagus running around. Like, you might want Magus of the Moon instead, or you might just, like, want to... Like, you don't need Blood Moons to beat the big mana decks anyways. Like, you can rely on your counter magic. Like, you can play Subtlety in that spot. You can play more counter spells. You don't need Blood Moons anymore. So it's kind of like coincidentally... just cutting an island for the channel land becomes better. And then you probably play like 4 Steamens, 2 islands, 1 channel land. As your, you know, and then it fetches and canals. And Subtlety Ragavan's kind of a combo. Does it mean Blood Moon is just dead of modern? I wouldn't quite go that far, but it's a lot worse, yeah. Like with Tron and Titan main decking Besage, Blood Moon's a lot worse, yeah. Alright, Sneep. This card won us a game. Or I think I won us that game against Reanimator. I'm not sure if you necessarily want this. We could cut this for a black source, but I've been liking this card. The red channel land. Another Marsh Flats deck. Second Marsh Flats opponent in a row. This card, I remember for the longest time you just never see this card in Modern. Is this the same opponent? This is the same opponent. Yeah, they must have just finished their league. Okay, so not exactly 2 Marsh Flats opponents in a row, I guess. Just same opponent twice. Does Besage mean Lantern falls farther than the tier 2 already is? Tier 2 is pretty generous, but I guess tiers don't mean anything at all, so calling Lantern tier 2 I guess is fine. Because like the tier list, the tier system it's lost all meaning. Someone asked me what a tier 1 or tier 2 deck is, I just can't tell you. Like that just doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Spike, this deck is tier 1.5 is my evaluation. What do you think? I don't know, man. Those don't even sound like words anymore to me. Yeah, everything is tier 1. When everything is tier 1, nothing is. Yeah, for the longest time we had this joke that tier 1.5 was your pet deck that is tier 2. But I'm just starting to, like, you know, until the Magic community has like a really cohesive and unified definition as to like what the tier list is, it's like just, you know, I'm tired of getting questions like, what tier is this? Because I just have to like explain what I think of the tier system. Dude, Grief Ephemerate's pretty good when your opponent draws only lands. There's a secret line of text If this card is ephemerated, then your opponent can only draw lands for the rest of the game. And I'm like, Judge, what does that like mechanically mean? Can only draw lands? I don't understand. And they're like, shut up. Just draw your cards. What does that mean mechanically? Alright, we just played against this opponent, brought in the 4 Ashioks, cut the 4 and the cage for the 4 Ashioks and the for the 4 endings of the Skysovereign. Sometimes, so I feel like Blood Moon will come back after Boseiju hype dies down. Well, here's the thing: it's like Tron and Titan are always gonna play Boseiju. Like Boseiju just has too low opportunity cost to not play, and so like it's that dynamic is never going to change. Bring in Boyle. Too late. Maybe next game 3. All right, let's keep this. If we draw another black source, we can try to dig for Parhelion with Ashiok. Yeah, and then, Canister was saying we should probably have Magus of the Moon over Ashiok on the board. I'm kind of inclined to agree. Yeah, we're going to make some changes for the next league, for sure. Too many Greasefangs. It's kind of funny because I was like, before Neon Dynasty, I was really low on Magus because of Fury and Solitude. But maybe now it's just the play. Like maybe in Boros Stoneblade, we just play Magus instead. Yes, yeah, I agree, especially because 4-color, I agree, absolutely does not really care about Blood Moon. It's kind of disgusting, like how well tuned those lists have become against Blood Moon. Maybe my opponent will play Urborg for me. They're gonna Boseiju me. I can tell. They're like, man, I put this card in my deck. It's like 50 tickets. Okay, they're griefing. They definitely take the Ashiok. So their hand is Boseiju, Archon, Sayer's Emissary. Probably a pretty bad hand to Thoughtseize. A pretty bad hand to Thoughtseize, since I just get to entomb for them. What? Oh, they pitched the Archon. Sorry, I missed that they pitched the Archon. Okay, they took a Greasefang because my Thoughtseize is terrible. I guess I should get a Blood Crypt so I can cast Spyro and Ashiok. Taking so much damage, though. But now if I draw a Parhelion, I can Thoughtseize myself. Yeah, I might die to the Grief Beatdown. Kind of surprised they didn't, wait, surprised they didn't attack. Parhelion? Close enough, or actually even better. Even better. Man, this is just the funnest thing to do. I still don't know how good it is, but like, oh my gosh, is this always just the sickest ever? Is this Grizzly Salvage? Oh right, I forgot they had Boseiju. It's okay, I'll do it again next turn. I forgot about the Boseiju. Boseiju broken. Stopping tier 0 Parhelion. So the last card is just a Sarah's Emissary, right? So it should be pretty good. This is how people feel when the reality chip goes off. Yeah. Yeah. It's like reality chip is really cool in Blue-White Hammer. But most of the time it's probably worse than Hammer. Okay, sounds good enough, I think. They mulled to 6, now they're considering going to 5. Yeah, I'm also not sure if I like this version better than the food version. Just too early to tell. Especially when we want to make some changes. Okay, they don't have Ephemerate. Man, mulling to 6 and then griefing on the play usually doesn't feel that good, but they do get to take my Thoughtseize. They maybe can combo. Their hand is 2 lands, Unmarked Grave Persist. They're pretty happy right now. Seems like Asmo Freebrewers struggle to get there in Modern right now. What are my thoughts? Yeah, the Asmo package is like, I don't know. I mean, it is actually like better against Titan than like this package is. Like Asmo is pretty good against Titan itself. But I think the format in general is like the creatures all cost like 1 mana, and like Asmo takes a long time to get online against those decks. Yeah, it's just not quite as good as you'd want it to be, is my opinion. But I do feel like it's pretty close to being there. It does have its good matchups. It does have some good matchups, of course. Okay, so I was gonna play an Engineer this turn, so that if my opponent has another discard effect, then I could just set it up to top deck a Greasefang at some point. But drawing the second Engineer, I think I'll just play a Copter. Unban Looting Spike. I'm actually not in control of the modern ban list, nor would I ever want to be. But I also would never unban looting, so you don't want me in control of the modern ban list, I guess. That's one of the last cards I would ever unban, I think. But can you imagine, if I was in control of the modern ban list, what this chat would be like? Just like, oh my gosh. The amount of essays we'd receive about what to ban or unban, it would be absurd. Draw Step Ephemerate. I guess we're gonna get to take my Copter and then one of my Engineers probably. Like, we would just be seeing essays. I would be getting 20-page manifestos about like about why you should unban Twin in my email every single day. No thanks. Not for me. No essays, just screaming. They would be screaming too. Yeah, complete dissertations on unbanning pod. Cited with sources. Peer reviewed. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna play this Ashiok. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I guess I'll minus targeting myself. I'll wait a turn on doing that, I guess, because I can maybe just get like something else in their yard. I'm only gonna get 1 activation probably because they'll kill it in 2 turns with grief. yeah, MLA formatted. You want to sack that Verdant Catacombs opponent? I guess if I draw a land, I get to kill the grief. I get to keep my Ashiok around, which is kind of nice. Right. Mill myself, exile their yard. Not super relevant, but... Okay, 2 Greasefangs on top. This does mean now that, however, Unearth is going to be... Unearth is going to be... ahead. I could have also hit something to engineer into, I guess. Could have attacked pretty freely. Oh no, if they have ending for my Copter, then I'll want to engineer, but I guess they'll just ending my they'll just ending my engineer instead. So we have 2 Unearths and 2 Greasefangs in the deck to top deck for the win. Priest is a scary card. I think if they had Unmarked Grave, they would have cast it last turn. It's so if their last card is Archon of Cruelty and I Thoughtseize, the game's over. I feel like I also feel like their last card being Archon is somewhat likely. So let's not just like run right into that. I have a list together that has Oni Cut Anvil. I haven't actually played the deck yet. This Kamigawa has been really cool because there's like a lot of like playable cards in this format, and like for the majority of them, it's really just like not obvious what the best home is, what the best way to build these decks. It's just like it's just my favorite kind of set where nothing seems to be too strong and there's a lot of new options to play with. Just exactly what I want to see in a standard set, to be honest. As a modern player, as a modern streamer brewer. So probably not the who you should design standard sets in mind for, but it is exactly what I want to see. About the flavor, I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of my favorite games ever, despite everyone on the internet hating it. I really liked it. It's one of my favorite games ever, and so I was really excited for it. That being said, like this set has me really missing 3 set blocks, because I feel like I feel like, oh, we're dead. We are dead. I guess we can still draw. No, we can still draw. Yeah, we can still draw Greasefang or No, they have well, it depends on when they use the ephemerate, but yeah, Greasefang or Unearth is not good enough anymore. They'll just draw step ephemerate, I guess. Then kill me. Alright, Abzan Reanimator player, you win this round. Yeah, so yeah, the flavor of Kamigawa has me really missing 3 set blocks where I just don't really feel like we spent enough time on Kamigawa to explore the flavor and get invested in the new characters and have like a cohesive, interesting story. Yeah, that's my thought on the flavor of Kamigawa. Is like, it just, yeah, I really wish this was a 3 set block. Okay, let's keep this hand. Oh, we're playing against Mateus. Oh, who's not playing Etron. I haven't posted Decklist yet, Salty. It's just not ready. Yeah, I mean, I think that they probably just shouldn't have a hard and fast rule for how to do the sets, right? Like, Kamigawa seems great as a larger block to me. But I think like a set like Ikora or Throne of Eldraine were really good as just like more gimmicky sets that were cool and interesting, but like not ones you want to see for like most of a year. But I could stay on this Neon Dynasty Kamigawa. I could stay on this forever, to be honest. Okay, probably playing Shadow. Well, Sentinel is just the best thing against Shadow. I kind of want to save the Thoughtseize for Luris, though. Let's try to just cast the Copter. Do I know the next set is not gonna be Kamigawa. The next set the Demon Gangster set. Surely they. That one, I don't know. I feel like you could do that one well, but it feels like a weird gimmick to me. Yeah, Streets of New Capena. I think it might be okay. You know, I played I just finished like a 4-year-long D&D campaign that was like very much centered against like the abyssal plane of the demons versus the infernal plane of the devils. They were at war with each other, and it was like tearing apart the material plane. It was like a long campaign to, you know, save the material plane from that conflict. So I definitely you know, like, do enjoy this kind of setting. So I'm hopeful that it's gonna be good. And then Brothers War is after that. Yeah, Brothers War also probably is gonna be good as a, you know, one set. It's me also like wishing that we had more like sets for Kamigawa is definitely also just like my bias for the setting. I think the setting's just very, like, I like Kamigawa a lot. I like Cyberpunk a lot, and like I think that the blending, like, you know, having like that crazy cultural, spiritual, like, world is dominated and controlled by like these, you know, giant commies and everything, that's really interesting, and how like that blends with like humans like becoming a very technological focused race is just very interesting to me. I really like the flavor. Okay, we're gonna crew this Copter so we can get Skysovereign at least in the yard. Oh, perfect draw. Yeah, I could just stay here for a long time and like really explore like what a world like that looks like. Take the Driss down, I guess. Yeah, if they croaks to me, I can just discard Greasefang, unearth it. Kamizo, K-A-M-I. Not communists. Although we could have a communist set. Yeah, dual decks communists versus fascists. That would be an interesting Magic set. Yeah, I think that was probably a good enough joke to unleash the hell that. Well, yeah, I know the implications of saying that to Twitch chat are pretty dangerous, but it was worth the joke. Yeah, I'm honestly pretty scared for the new triomes in the new set, the Kipina, whatever the set's called. I know we just said it. I think the adding the extra triomes to modern is gonna like really improve mana bases, really improve what's possible, and like I'm honestly a little worried it's gonna go a little far. Okay, so they need a 1 mana removal spell here. Or they're dead. And that's the one unknown card too. It has to be the one unknown card here. Of course. This one damage? Oh, I did, yeah. One super relevant damage. I was busy complaining instead of trying to win the game. So then there's Ragavan. They're drawing a new card. They have a Croak so they can escape in the yard. Yeah, I should have crewed in response. I was just complaining about my opponent top decking the perfect card when I could have been winning the game instead. The way of the Magic player. They're dead to any creature off the top, though. They would have been dead if I crewed in response. It's even the best creature. Also the way of the Magic player, play poorly and win anyways. Core was a little over a year ago at this point, right? Like maybe like 16 months. Yeah, let's just say 16 months. See if we feel comfortable with that number and then make up a different guess if we're not. Yeah, COVID is a time machine. I was buying Esther shoes for Valentine's Day on Sunday. We went to like a running store. And I told the saleswoman that COVID is like this crazy time machine because she asked us what the shoes were for, and I told her it's like kind of for Valentine's Day, kind of for our anniversary. And then I unzipped her. I like completely unzipped her. It was she like totally trauma dumped all over us about like all the deaths she experienced over COVID and all the hardships she had, which was, you know, fine. I understand it's hard up there, but it was I unzipped her. I totally unzipped her. It was a lot. It was a lot. What's the reasons for ending over portable holes? Well, in this deck, you're not playing Urza Saga, so I think that like that's probably the tiebreaker that makes you want ending. Portable hole, it has some synergy with Engineer. You can maybe play one portable hole. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Aspiring Unzipper. I would have zipped her back up if I could, chat. I would have I would have definitely zipped her right back up. And then she also charges she rang up the I bought Esther 2 pairs of shoes. I don't know why she wanted 2 pairs. She's the saleswoman talked her into like getting one pair for running in the gym and one pair for running outside, which is fine. Esther thought that sounded great. I love Esther. I'll buy her 2 pairs of shoes. But she rang up one of the 2 pairs twice. She rang up one of the 2 pairs twice, and so we have to go sort that out. It's the store is like 30 minutes away too, so it's kind of gonna be a pain. Probably have to wait till the weekend. Why not 3 pairs? Yeah. Charge me for 3 pairs. It's okay. You know, I would buy Esther as many pairs of shoes as she wants. Put most of 6 on the play here. Turn 1 Sentinel against their deck is obviously always what you want to. Got here, no meme. How the changes felt? They felt fine. Like this definitely feels like a fine direction to go with this deck. But this is also so far like definitely felt like like I don't know that if I like this more than the food variant. It just is only the first league. We're gonna make some changes too, but the sample size is still too small. We need to go up 1 or 2 black sources. I thought I had 14, but I only have 13, and we're gonna go up 1 or 2 black sources, and I think try to figure out slightly different sideboard. I think like 1 damping sphere is kind of interesting as an engineer target, although it is like pretty slow, admittedly. I mean, double sentinel is just like way too good to not go for. Every deck follow the path to control. Isn't this similar? I mean, the controlling versions of Reanimator are not better than like the ephemerate versions, or like maybe you could consider the smallpox version control. Just like a different way to build it though. I don't know. It's just too early to tell. It's just too early to make sweeping characteristics of this deck yet. I know. You know, this is always the dynamic of a new set release. Chat really wants me to give them the goods immediately. They want me to tell them what's good, what's bad, what's hot, what's the scoop, Spike, what are we doing, what's the new hot thing in Modern. But the reality is, it just takes time. You gotta let the stews cook. You gotta let it marinate a little bit. You gotta let it do its thing. And then eventually you'll find out what's hot and what's not. Chant, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, gifting subs to give Esther pairs of shoes. More noble cause than giving me money, huh? End of turn dress down, so we might see a Croxy here, but that's okay because we've got an ending and a push. Yeah. The scoop is, I don't know. Yeah, who's to say what's good and what's not? Yeah, you can treasure to get stuff back. Like we could sack the treasure to get our Sentinel back, but remember, Engineer only brings artifacts with mana value 3 or less to play, but can put any artifact in the yard. Yeah, it would just be really helpful if when a chatter asks me what is good in Modern now, if they could tell me what their biases are, if they could tell me what their favorite deck is, what their favorite archetype is. Because then I could just lie to them and tell them that their favorite deck is getting good, and then they would give me money. That would be really what's best for me, I think. Cola Guns Command. Man. Enduring Ideal is the best deck again. Thanks, Spike. You're the best. Here's $5. Okay, so I can't sack the treasure for mana and then use it to get Sentinel back. I do want my Sentinel back, so let's get it, and then I think I'll play another Engineer, this time putting a Copter in the yard. Did they draw a card using Dress Down so they don't have to draw a card of command? Well, they missed a land drop, so they were trying to cycle really for a land there, like. And then also to kill the Sentinel without having to pay the next turn. I'll let this go. They're probably gonna take the Seasoned Pyromancer, and I think that means that I want to use Ending on Channeler. instead of anything else. Do I see myself working as a streamer during many years? Well, I really love it. It's the only time I've like really woken up and been excited to go to work has been during this streamer era of mine. It's also like the only thing I've ever been good at too, so that's a pretty good combination for a career. I also feel like content creation and streaming and this kind of career job, whatever. I think that this kind of stuff is only going to get bigger too. Like I really like I don't feel like that all of a sudden people are going to become uninterested in this kind of stuff. Will I be good at it forever? Who knows? But I love it. It's great. It really makes me happy, and I hope to do it for as long as I can. All right, let's get a Copter, I guess. It's also great because I just get to yell at chat, and then they like it. It's awesome. Hey Spike, I've heard you dunking on Mono Red Prison in the past. What made you change your tune and say best deck when I gave you money? I think you just misunderstood me. Where when I was calling Mono Red Prison Garbo is actually a new hip term for best deck in the format. It's kind of like ironic. Yeah, just an ironic term for best deck in the format. Yeah, Second Command is pretty good there. Hard to play around too. Hard to play around Second Command. Does make my top deck Unearth a bit worse, but they might have a Drown in the Lock. Pretty easy for them to have Drown. So I guess I will bait Drown in the Lock with Push. Which my opponent doesn't fall for. So let's not play the Greasefang, I guess. Hold this for Croxa. Feel good about that. So they're, you know, with 2 tokens in play, I feel like there's a decent chance opponent goes for Luris. Maybe not. So I could channel that this turn. Cast Ragavan or Sentinel or Engineer. I kind of like that because what's nice about this is like, so this channeler has to attack, right? And that means that if I present lethal here by putting Ragavan or whatever into play, then my opponent has to do something about this lethal, and then I can present another lethal threat next turn and just really tax my opponent's mana. And I think since the plan is to tax the mana, I'm getting Sentinel. You can do both with Legendary Cost Reduce. Well, I can't cast the... I guess I can put Ragavan in the hand. But I'm trying to you know, like, make them use their removal spell or counter spell on this and not the Greasefang too. So if I play Greasefang first, it's also a bit worse, right? Why playing the land? Because I want to get a basic here. I guess I could maybe get a dual land, but I only have 1 basic left in the deck. Oh, come on. Well, I'll punish for playing the land. Golly, what a hand. Alright, come on, big top deck. Fuck. Well, yeah, we would have won the game if I didn't play the land, so... yeah. We win if we draw another Greasefang or an Unearth. We have 5 outs here. I do have to block the Shadow because I go down to 12 off the Croxa Escape. I'm assuming my opponent goes for Croxa over... Yeah. Seasoned Pyromancer is also possibly an out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't have Bolt in the deck or anything like that. Yeah, just got Greasefang, Unearth, Seasoned Pyromancer. These are the only cards that do anything. Ragavan, 1 short. Parhelion, 1 short. Copter, short. We go to game 3 despite feeling like I was going to win that game. Obviously could have maneuvered differently. Met Orzhov Smallpox, not sure it's competitive enough. I mean, I like that deck. There's a lot of ways you can build it too. Alright, playing for the 3-2. Should play more Affinity? Yeah, I don't know. So we have time for like 1 or 2 more leagues today, probably just one. I'm not sure if I want to play. I probably want to play another league of this, but I do want to play more Affinity. I've got, you know, a lot of different variants we're working on. Which cage in the sideboard for? It's mostly like an engineer target against decks like Yawgmoth, Reanimator, and Dredge. And what's nice is that Grafdigger's Cage doesn't shut off your Greasefang returning Parhelion. Thoughts on Lightning Axe, Brutality, Pitch Vehicles to Grave. I mean, you only have 4 cards in your entire deck that are good to discard. So like, while like that's okay to play with like looting effects like Spyro, Smuggler's Copter, because like it's okay to like loot basically anything away with those kind of cards. The fact that like Lightning Axe, Brutality are really weak, or they, you know, they're just like incredibly underpowered, unless like your opponent gives you a target for them and you have these cards in your hand. It's just not where you want to be, I think. I want to revisit the mono blue Affinity list I played. I'm not sure exactly how I want to build it yet. I just think I want to cut Tezzeret, unfortunately. Tezzeret's a lot worse than I thought it was, because you don't get that mana reduction if you play it off of artifact mana. Check out the food engine. We're trying it out without the food engine. The food engine is maybe better. Want to play against Shadow. I mean, you have to keep the combo, I assume, in this kind of hand. It is nice that like Engineer, you know, like comes down, is a combo piece, and then also blocks Ragavan too. I want to take a look at the... I don't know why my Neo decks are split up here. I usually like to tag them Neo so I can find them all together. But yeah, I wanted to cut the Tezzerets from this list. And then I kind of want to try like just having these as top end. And just kind of see like what the mono blue version of this list looks like. And then I was considering, now that I only have 1 double blue card, like how many artifact lands we want. Like it is a double blue card still, so it's possible you want to play like maybe 2 treasure vaults, but I think you can play some treasure vaults now. And then like what else are we doing to fill up the curve is also going to be kind of a hard question to answer. Reality Heist? The thing about Reality Heist is like, look, Nettlecyst and Thought Monitor are the only good cards to Reality Heist into. Everything else is like a dopey mana engine, or, you know, like a 0 mana creature, just like not that strong to like draw into. So it's and you're not even like necessarily like you're maybe like a little above 50% to hit like one of those 2 cards, but I think the numbers are just not high enough. Couple of vehicles like Dreadnought. Yeah, I think Dreadnought is an interesting option. Like this is something I've been meaning to try. It's like really high on my list. It's like in a deck like this. In a deck like this, just like put a Dreadnought in it as an Urza Saga target, because the Dreadnought Affinity deck has been really good. Like I think it's like there's a good chance that like just 1 Dreadnought is good as a Saga target. So that's probably something I'll do. But in this version, probably just 1 copy with no mech hangers. But yeah, the Dreadnought's been like I recorded a video with the Dreadnought deck last night, and I don't know how you spell Dreadnought. It was really good. Well, sorry, I know we're playing a match here, and this is annoying. All right, cast a Kroxa. Cast a Kroxa, or play. Not that. Not that. Boggles with White Paw. I mean, I don't usually think Boggles too much. Yeah, just 7-11 Crew 6, because it's just like in this deck you have Urza, Nettlecyst, and Urza Saga. All these crew the Dreadnought, and so it's like when these things come down, you basically give them haste by crewing the Dreadnought attacking. It's also a 1-mana artifact in your deck with Thought Monitor, Thought Cast, and like in that way, it's like you're not that upset to draw it early either. It also taps to Moonsnare Prototype for mana, of course. Yeah, we could maybe play like 2 Imries or something. Maybe we'll play this next. I don't know. I want to play more of the MARDU Greasefang deck too. Maybe just save some of that for tomorrow. Both seem fine. All right, we have 5 outs to kill my opponent. 2 Unearth, 3 Greasefang. I guess I'm gonna just jam the Spyro here. Discard Parhelion Mire or Parhelion Copter. Let's discard the Mire, I guess. As champion, I think as champions, I don't know, not that good. Yeah, you could build. Yeah, it might be good to like maybe shelve this deck for today, and then like I might try to build a version with more copies of Unearth, because Unearth has definitely felt really strong so far. I wonder if there's like if you can play a couple more 3-mana creatures. This also looks really fun. I think I'll just add 1 more treasure vault to this list. Oh, this is dumb. Just putting vault. I think 5 artifact lands is probably about how many we need with all these double with the double blue Urzas. Okay, I could maybe just cast Skysovereign against my opponent next turn. That deck's missing Sentinel. I mean, obviously, like I've been working on a blue-white version too, but it's hard to deny that like blue-white's mana kind of sucks, and like just being mono blue, makes that issue a lot less of an issue. Sai is, I think, terrible. I don't know. People keep suggesting Sai. I think Sai is really bad. I am very unimpressed by Sai. Oh yeah, I think Minamo Oboro is probably correct to play. At least the one that untaps a legendary creature when you have Emery in the deck. The Bitter Blossom of blue artifact decks. Yeah. Yeah, if you're playing Sai, like their combo with Paradoxical Outcome is, fine, but it's just not like really in the format. I don't know if I'll play Oboro. I guess yeah, filtering into blue mana is probably relevant enough. Yeah, I should probably play the Oboro. Maybe try to find a room for a 3rd Emery. 2 feels like an okay number 2. Alright, I'm gonna jam the Skysovereign. I'm gonna feel great about it. You're gonna say 4 Emery and an Amber? I mean, if you play 4 Emery, you could probably afford 1 copy of Mox Amber, especially because Amber taps to Moonsnare, but with no other cheap legendary creatures, please nobody say Reality Chip. With no more cheap legendary creatures than that, I don't think it's like you could really afford to play much more, right? Yeah, I agree that Emery's probably not going to be that good in this list, but I mean it's going to be good in some matchups, and it's also like you're going to play it for 1 mana a lot of time, and when your 1 mana creature dies to removal spell, like it's just not that big a deal. But I agree we could maybe play something else besides Emery. I'm not sure exactly what that something else is. Amber a good enough target for Saga with Asmo? It depends. Like I've been kind of theorizing like revisiting blue red food with like synthesizer, Amber, Emery, Ragavan. I don't know. It's just the deck also kind of sounds like it sucks. But it is fun that there's just roughly billions of ways to build this deck. Rebuke main. Yeah, maybe Rebuke main's good. Maybe see cutting the Brute, but Brute's so good with the Nettle Cysts. 3 main, 1 side, maybe. I could go down on Nettle Cyst too. Like 4 Nettle Cysts is kind of a lot, but it is good with the Moonsnare. I don't know. Tough deck to build. Wait, they got Kolagun's Command, and then they returned Channeler. They didn't kill my Skysovereign. That kind of scares me. Are the baubles necessary? No, I don't know that the baubles are necessary. I think Dreadnought is actually just good in a deck with 4 Urza Saga, 4 Natal Cysts. I think it's just good and underplayed in these kind of decks. I could play more Dreadnoughts. I could just play more Dreadnoughts in those flex spots. That could actually be correct. Just no mech hangers. They could be good to test, right? Anything from the SCGs I found noteworthy? I didn't really look closely at the SCGs. Like, the reality is that the Magic players, Modern players, whatever, they looked way too closely at the SCG, at the paper tournament events. Where, like, the reality is, like, as these events are cool, I like that they're happening. I'm excited to play some. They're less competitive than the Magic Online events. They're, like, they're definitely a step down from the, they're not as competitive as the Magic Online events. And I played Vegas, I played the Hunter Burton, and these events are just not as competitive. How so? It's a lot of different reasons. Like, you get more casual players playing, you get people who are playing decks that they enjoy a lot more so than the decks they think are competitive. Obviously, they're playing still good decks, but like the scarcity of paper tournaments makes people way more incentivized to play their favorite deck at a paper tournament, because you just don't get to play very many paper tournaments anymore. So like everybody's playing their favorite deck rather than everybody's hyperbolic, but there's a big density, I feel, of people playing their favorite deck rather than the deck they think gives them the best chance to win. So leave white mana up for Sentinel here. I think Boros Stoneblade will be good. I'm excited. I'm going to play some Boros Stoneblade soon. I think we're going to be playing both the Channel Lands, Lion Sash, and the Magus of the Lion Sash over Maul, the Channel Lands over Sunbaked Canyon, and Magus of the Moon over Blood Moon because of Boseiju is my like predicted changes for the main deck. Maybe some things in the sideboard change too. There's no way it's less competitive in leagues. Leagues are very competitive. I mean, or at least like leagues are more competitive than like FNMs. I would say that like in my experience, like Vegas, the Hunter Burton, like these SCG tournaments, I would say they're probably about as competitive as a Magic Online League. And then like the Magic Online challenges and PTQs, these are like as challenging as like day 2 of a GP, or old school GP, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, like people who people who are playing these paper events too, and also playing a lot of Magic Online, because I feel like we've got a bunch of people here. Like, do you guys agree or disagree? If you've played like Vegas or Hunter Burton or the SCG, and you're also like grinding Moto, do you agree with my statement that the paper events are less competitive? I played the Hunter Burton, and I played against Mono Blue Mill.